let's talk about the small movie, and that is Kneecap. Todd, we're starting with you on Kneecap. Tell us all about this one and what you thought.
All right, Kneecap is directed by Rich Peppiatt, and it is the story of the hip-hop trio Kneecap, and they are named after what Ireland is known for, which is kneecapping. And it consists of a couple criminal types and a teacher who have one thing in common, and they want to keep the Irish language and not let Belfast speak only English. So they take up the mantle of like political activism in the form of this aggressive, vicious, absolutely catchy Irish language hip hop. Like think if like the Beastie Boys had more of like a nightclub feel. That's kind of what this band is. They make waves. They're pursued by the government, and they still just kind of do their thing. It is the official submission at the Oscars for Ireland this year. And
is it really?
Yes.
Oh,
one of the highlights of 2024 for me was this little Swiss movie we watched called Bonjour Switzerland, and this has a really similar story to Kneecap. It's about like these people who like are sort of over their head fighting for the right of their language to be spoken, and when the government is like trying to streamline everything. I don't think I'd ever seen a movie with that plot before, and that's twice in the same like few months. It has the energy of something like Trainspotting or like an Edgar Wright movie. It's a blistering directorial debut for the director, and it just is oozing with style and passion, just like the music. And it's a lot of drugs, a lot of sex, a lot of creative cursing, the way only the Irish can. And then it's bizarre because like most of the time when I watch Irish movies, it requires English subtitles because I can't really understand it. But going back and forth between English and Irish, it was actually like loud and clear. And I just love the music. I didn't know any of the songs, and I don't know if they're actually original to the movie, but this would be like a cool change of pace at the Oscars if they were to recognize something like this if they had one that was written for the movie. And even if it doesn't necessarily strike a chord with American audiences, I know it only made like $400,000 this weekend, but it's a blast to watch. Fassbender attaches himself. Michael Fassbender, he's in the movie as a smaller part, but he attaches himself to some strange projects. I remember that other music movie he made. I can't remember the title right now, though. He was wearing a helmet mask thing. Frank was on it. But you got to appreciate when he's like trying to prop up these smaller time directors. And it's a little dizzying of an experience, but it is an experience, and one that has to be in the theater because it was like a loud movie too, which is exactly how you should watch it. It's not too deep, but it doesn't really have to be. It's a 3-star movie, like a high 3-star movie. One of like in my top 10 of the year so far.
All right, Zach, what did you think of Kneecap?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Todd said. I mean, this movie was a blast from start to finish. Like, I didn't know anything about this group. I knew a little bit about the Irish language because of my number one movie of 2022. It's a big deal in that movie, The Quiet Girl. But I wasn't aware of the kind of political and social reputation that the language has. The characters in the movie are characters that are really marginalized because of their identity and because of the language that they speak. I mean, there's a character who's arrested who refuses to speak English to the people who arrest him, and that's what's sort of the inciting incident to the movie. Todd's right in that the movie has a lot of style. He didn't mention that I love the animation in the movie. Like, there's some really cool flashes that almost feel like a music video at times. The music is really hopping. I can't say that I could recite all the lyrics to it because it is in the Irish language, but they translated it during the performances. And the movie it's kind of a blast from start to finish. You know, you do like the Jim Valvano test on movies like this. Does it make you laugh? Does it make you cry? Does it make you think? Well, this movie definitely makes you laugh. I mean, there's some real funny sequences in it. My banner today is the words "Our day will come," which is really funny. A line that is shouted a few times in the movie by a certain character in a certain situation. The movie definitely makes you think. It makes you think about the importance of words and language and regional dialect, and how just speaking certain words puts you in a certain class in some parts of the world. Does it make you cry? I think the one fault of the movie is that I think it tries to make you cry by the end of the movie. I didn't entirely believe how the movie resolves like the Michael Fassbender aspect of the movie. I didn't entirely believe some of the more peripheral characters to the story, but the main three characters are really compelling. Apparently, this is a according to Wikipedia, a lightly fictionalized version of Kneecap. I mean, they were actually the guy was DJ Pravi was actually a teacher who got reprimanded for being a part of this group, and these two guys were there. There actually was a baptism that happens at the beginning of the movie that I guess was real. I wonder if the point of some of those scenes by the end of the movie are to try to make the movie more appealing, to try to sell it overseas, maybe make it more of a sort of pop mass audience type movie. I don't know if you necessarily need that, but again, that's nitpicking. I mean, the movie is from start to finish enjoyable. You think about those things only after you're done watching it. Todd's right. I had a blast watching it too. It's like Todd, it's a high 3-star movie for me. I learned something new at it, and this is what the best movies do. They make you learn, they make you think. And kudos to these guys for representing their culture in a really cool way, and this filmmaker for exploring it in a way that I think is really refreshing and fun. I mean, there's, yes, a little bit of train spotting in this movie, a little bit of like Lahane in this movie too, and also like a little bit of Amelie with the whole like sort of fun transitions throughout. So I thoroughly enjoyed it too. Really fun movie, much more fun, like a fresh shower after seeing Trap.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was the first part of my.
You did the wrong
ended
order.
my night with Trap.
I was the only one in the theater.
Me too. Yeah, we're thrice approved on this. I'm gonna take the step. You guys are at high 3 stars. I'm going 3.5. This movie is a blast. It is kinetic. And the music just kind of keeps it moving. I didn't realize that. I'm curious how much of this actually is true, but I didn't realize that this was a true story in any way. And it got to the end and was showing like concert footage, and I'm like, wow, they got actors that look just like him. And I'm wait, it's the actual guys. Like the teacher, DJ Prove. I'm like, he looks familiar. What do I know him for? Like he looks like a bearded Irish Tony Hale or something. But
nice.
Had you seen him in anything else?
No, he hasn't been in anything else. And
I mean, he could have been. Yeah, I noticed it was probably a real story when one of the pictures was him actually wearing like the mask thing. I was like, oh,
yeah,
so it's actually the guy.
So this is, but and that just adds to it and makes it that much better because the three of them are really good, and they go through so many crazy things throughout this movie. It is. It's just a blast. It is so much fun. It's a bummer that no one's watching this and everyone's seeing Trap instead, because this is the movie everybody needs to be watching. And discover these guys and their music and this movie that tells their story so well. And then you throw Fassbender in there just for the few little times that he's on screen, which is brilliant. The detective was really good. And I mean, it's just great. It's so much fun. 3.5 stars. Go see Kneecap.
Not that many people are seeing Trap. Trap was 3rd at the box office this weekend. So, but yes, Kneecap did not make hardly any money, which is unfortunate because it was actually playing like a few theaters. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm looking here. So.
Yeah, 492,000 in 703 theaters.
Deadpool made 97 million this weekend. In weekend 2, Twisters was at 23. Trap was 3rd at 16. Despicable Me 4, 11 million in 4th. Inside Out 2 was 5th at 6.7 million. Harold and the Purple Crayon was 6th at 6 million. Because that's a thing. Long Legs 7th at 4.1. Firing Squad first weekend at 1.6 million. Quiet Place Day 1 was 9th at 1.4 million. Bad Boys Ride or Die 600,000. So Kneecap wasn't even in the top 10. Opening weekend and actually a decent release. Come on, guys. Go
Sony
see
Pictures Classics. I mean,
I'd never seen the preview. I just saw a little thing about it. I was like, how about we watch that movie? It'll be better than Trap. And I was right.
I saw this preview several times at the movies.
Yeah, I saw
over the last
preview
month
a couple
or so.
times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I would add a couple things. Number one, this is like probably the most unabashedly pro-drugs movie since Pineapple Express. And the drugs have a major element in the story. It's not that these guys are just, addicts or freeloaders. Like the drugs in this movie play a major part in terms of their social standing and the perceptions about people that speak Irish. I thought that was a really interesting component to the movie. And the opening sequence, the movie occasionally uses narration, but one of the things I knew kind of right away this was going to be a cool movie when it talked about how all of our perceptions about the Troubles and Belfast, we've been informed a lot by media narratives about them, but they're all really depressing. I mean, we think about like Hunger and In the Name of the Father and The Boxer and a few other movies, Neil Jordan movies a lot. This movie's just fun, and you don't get a lot of fun looks at strife that is still occurring in places like Belfast. And so that's not to diminish the human toll of it and the suffering and the imprisonment that a lot of people have had to go through. But like, this is just a really fun spin on it, but also has a really strong social message at its core that I think people will respond to really positively. So I agree. I hope this movie gets an Oscar nomination. We have a strong track record on this podcast of really promoting Irish movies, and hopefully this movie has, maybe it's got some John Carney magic in it. I don't know. Like maybe we get Glenn Hansard on board. Maybe let's start the campaign now.
Oh, if they accept their Oscar, like it'll be like,
oh, that would be amazing.
I mean, just get them there. Let them perform. Let the people decide.
Yeah.
But you're right. I didn't even realize that. I mean, Quiet Girl once, anything
Banshees.
Martin McDonagh makes. We are a champion of Irish cinema here. So
Brooklyn, sort of.
Brooklyn, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Go see Kneecap. It is worth seeing. With the box office performance, it's not gonna be around much longer. So this is the movie to go see. Make sure you see Kneecap. It is worth it. You will have a blast. How many of you downloaded Kneecap music on your phone after you saw the movie?
I should have.
I downloaded this CERATA song or whatever, their main one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded it yet, but I'm planning on it.
Well, it was like, HOOD. That was my favorite. That was low life scum. That's what they say about me. That was a great one.
And the way they subtitle the Irish in the songs is really cool too. As you're watching the lyrics be written on the screen, I mean it was just awesome. It was. So
do you
okay.
think they could have got the Butcher to go to a Kneecap concert, or did it have to be Lady Raven? I don't know if the Butcher would have gone to Kneecap. There would have been a lot.
Daughter would have wanted to go to.
Yeah, a lot of dudes there. I don't think it would have been hard to whittle down from all the dudes at Kneecap.
Dad, I really want to go see Kneecap and get high. All right,